Namaste. I hope everybody is blessed on this beautiful Saturday or Sabbath, whatever you may call it. Um, just thought I'd make a video real quick. Um, yeah, I'm always super casual when I make my videos, but I mean that's completely fine because it allows me to relax and focus on whatever it is that I'm trying to say. Um, I don't know, just observing stuff. I've been, seeing different things here. Um, I've been seeing how people are like freaking out now because they're like getting more information on what's being pushed for people to put in their bodies. They're getting like some of the ingredients, and now, videos are coming out about some of the ingredients that are in there, which are just crazy as hell. You can Google it up. One of them is, I think it's, you just Google the ingredients of the whole mess and how weird it is that they want people to put this in their bodies. Um, I think one is called it's spelled GRAPHINE, I think. Um, but I don't know, if you Google videos about it, it kind of moves around. It kind of looks like a magnet. Um, there's a couple of videos. Maybe I'll just leave some in the link. And it's crazy because I keep hearing it be said like that substance and the other stuff that they have in there. Um, they said little robots and stuff, micro robots, or worth like smaller than micro. You guys have to forgive me. Um, it's crazy because I'm hearing that. So in the videos that I've made and that countless people are spiritual people have made, they say something about resonating. Like if you say something and it resonates with you, which means that the vibration feels correct. The vibration, I mean, we don't think about it as a vibration before we're really awakened, but it's always been there. So like when you're younger, things that feel right, things that feel wrong, when somebody says something and it feels like truth, when somebody says something and it feels like a lie. Peace is a resonation, right? Resonating, the vibration, fitting a certain frequency. So I don't know, now that I've learned about that one substance, that I explained, and I'll leave the links below. It's just funny to me because it makes me think about that Ashy Stroll World concert and the stuff that happened. So I remember seeing a couple of videos, and a lot of people kept saying that like while they were waiting for the performer to come on the stage before that horrible event, they said they just kept playing like this beat over and over and over again, right? Um, and then they were saying that it was they were saying a lot. I'm trying to think of it. They were saying it was I mean, it was obviously a frequency. I mean, you can try to Google it. I just quit looking at that whole situation because it just had so much negative energy. Um, but they were saying like, they just played this repetitive beat for hours, like before, he even took stage. And then they said, once he took stage, like the whole atmosphere, just like they said, it was weird all day, but they said the whole atmosphere changed. So of course, there was music involved. If you want to go, anybody who's listening to me should know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then hopefully they'll come to you. But they said the whole vibration changed. Well, not the whole vibration, but then when he came on and they start performing, people's energy just shifted, right? And then they kept calling it a surge. That's what I remember. I noticed they kept calling it a crowd surge that happened, that caused the deaths of the people that were reported, right? So it made me think about it because what they were saying about, the chemical that's in the and what is being pushed for people to, inject in their bodies, is they're saying that this one substance is in it, and this substance can be affected by frequencies and whatnot. So I was listening to some of those videos about what happened at that concert, and I remember they were saying that people were like moving, like the crowd will move this way and the crowd will move that way. And they said you were pretty much forced to move with the crowd, which I found that kind of odd. I mean, I guess, there's a lot of people that can happen, but I just found that odd because I'm like, there's going to be different variables. There's going to be enough people to kind of throw off that movement so that everybody is not moving back and forth in the same direction. So it just made me wonder, because I've been hearing that people are saying that, whatever is in this injection can be affected by frequencies and be controlled. So I was wondering, it's just a thought, y'all. Like if there was a frequency or something released that caused people to lose control of their not lose control of their functions, not like, like they were being controlled to move a certain way. I'm not saying necessarily like control their arms and stuff. Who knows? Maybe that may happen later. But what if it was enough people who had already taken this drug and had this stuff put into their bloodstream, and then this was just like a test to see like how they would respond? I don't know. Just a thought, could be a conspiracy theory, just a thought. I don't know if you see what I'm trying to say, but when you see these videos and you think about it, it was just an interesting thought, because I was just real curious as like how do all people, a surge, like, and all people are just moving in the same way. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when 80s babies, there used to be a show called Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I actually used to like that show. But there was this one episode of it was called Cuckoo Cola. But I remember this song. Anybody who ever, any 80s babies who saw Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, you probably remember this episode. But basically, these mice and mouses were being brainwashed or controlled. I don't know if it was a cult. I think it was a cult, but it was like a band or music or something too. But I remember, and it had something to do with. So it had something to do with the pop they were drinking as well, because I remember the song of it was when the mice and stuff would go into a trance while they were singing. After they had drank this pop, they'd be like, "Come along, sing the song, feel the fizz of Cuckoo Cola." I remember that. But I just thought it was, I've thought about that through the years, and it's just like, it's almost like they play in your face and they tell you what's going to take place. Because it was just basically like these mice were being brainwashed. It had to do with the pop they were consuming, the music and stuff that they were taking in. But I don't know. That's just something to think about, and it's just kind of frustrating because, I see people are waking up, praise God, praise Creator, that people are waking up and they're just like, what the hell? Like, no. And people are looking at this from all spectrums and not being blind sheep, but at the same time, it's frustrating to me because I feel like this has been going on for a long time. Like, I remember when they were really pushing the flu vaccine, they were like harassing people about the flu vaccine, and people used to be like, try to make people who didn't want to get the flu shot feel a certain kind of way. Even with vaccines at the hospital for your children, if people decided to execute their decision. I remember seeing this all before this even happened. Like, it was a lot of condemnation, and people were being so nasty to people who were choosing to make a decision and be discerning about what they injected into their bloodstream or what they injected into their children's bloodstream. And I remember it was just so foolish and so ridiculous, the discussions that were had and the hate that was thrown at people who didn't do it. and just the logic, I saw this years ago, right? And what happened years ago has paved the way for what's taking place right now. So while I'm glad that people are awakening, I feel like it's frustrating because I feel like our God, creator God, has already shown us stuff and already prepared us for stuff. The Holy Spirit has already prepared us for stuff, but people just refuse to listen to it, and they refuse to even consider it because there was no immediate threat, because they weren't being spiritual, because they weren't being in tune. And because of that, that's what leads to this. And I guess that's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be people who are just refusing to be in tune with what is truth and what is good, right? Until it comes to their own detriment. So I don't know. That's just an observation I made, thinking about like how, even when it came to the flu shot, even when it came to people, I mean, if you can go back on the archives on the internet and the debates about anti-vax, and here's the thing: most of these people that they were calling anti that, I don't even think they were that. I think they just didn't want it for them. They weren't running around telling other people to not get it. Same thing now. They just didn't want that for them. They didn't feel like that was the best decision for them, and yet they were condemned for it. And then now look at it now. Now they're forcing people to do it. They're coercing, right? Because they're not actually holding you down and putting the thing in you, but they're putting people in a situation to where they feel like they have no choice, even though they do have a choice. They're just choosing to not let go of the comforts and the convenience of what they know, right? And then once again, that goes back into, there's been preparation for this long before this happened. You get what I'm saying? So now it's just coming down to a time where you just have to decide what is good and what is not, what you will do and what you won't, right? Um, so I don't know. I don't know what to say, y'all, because it's just, you know, when I think about, that there's been many people who've been saying stuff long before this. There's been people who've been in the way that those people were treated, and the way that they were disregarded, and the way that they were shitted on and bullied, for what they said. And now that people are, actually facing what they said, because the people were saying this because they could see it. People refused to see it because they were drinking the Coca-Cola and singing the song. And now reality is setting in. So I hope that, as many of us can make the right decision, the best decision, for not only your physical well-being, but your spiritual well-being. I hope that, you have the strength to endure. What else? Living life, enjoying life, blessed, abundant, happy, grateful for each day my creator gives me. Another thing that I'm learning in my spirituality is like just coming from under bondage of sin, right? So like when I was in religion, the one of the establishments that I was involved in, they emphasized sin so much, and they emphasized sin to the extent that they made things that weren't sinful. So it got to the point where every little move that I made, I felt like I was sinning. I felt like I was just like ruining my salvation. I was going to go to hell, all just living in a constant state of fear, right? But as my journey has went on, I'm coming to understand that that is not the state that my God wants me to be in. So if you do something incorrect, then you go before the Lord. I'm going to bring up that Psalms 51 again. I put in another video. That's one of the most thorough prayers you can pray. Or, use in that, be in that energy when you are seeking repentance or forgiveness for something. To me, it's very thorough and it's very cleansing. Because here's the thing. You may do something that may not be against the law or may not necessarily be considered a sin by mainstream, religion, but if you're doing something against what is good for you, that's what that is, right? And so every day that we have to be willing to humble ourselves every day, no matter how many times a day, um, just to make sure our intentions are good and our heart is clean, right? Um, and so that's something that I've been doing. You just get up and you keep going, you keep living, and you thank your creator for each day that they give you here because there is a purpose to be served. So I don't know if anybody needs to hear that. Don't get caught in the bondage of, the things that you've done or the things that you wish you hadn't done, or who knows, maybe sometimes it's something you were supposed to do, and just because you have, consciousness of what other people say you shouldn't do, you're carrying guilt that you shouldn't have. But whatever the case is, if it doesn't feel right in your spirit, then you need to get inside of yourself and you need to seek the Most High and ask for correction and cleansing, right? And me, um, that's a constant ongoing thing. So one thing I like to say is, like, people get evil and oh, this just came to me. I hope I can remember it. Oh my gosh, it just came to me. Um, it says, never confuse a broken person with an evil person. Oh, I'm going to see if I can remember that before before I'm done recording this video. But basically, it's saying that you can't confuse somebody who's been broken by life, who's had shit handed to him by life, who's had all kinds of things happen that have broken them in some kind of way, with somebody who's evil. You can't do that. You have to be able to discern the two, right? There's people who are, who have done things, and like, mind you, I have a wide open mind, but people know the difference between evil and broken, right? Broken is you've been molested and you've been violated as a child. So now you struggle with depression. Now you may have struggled with some addictions. Now you have some dysfunction. Evil is you've been molested as a child and then you decide to go molest other people. The other children. Do you get what I'm saying? Broken is um broken is different from evil, right? And so a lot of the thing with religion that disturbs me is because it always presents that you have to be this perfect image of a person, this perfect crispy, clean cut person, soft spoken, no cursing, no nothing. And that's how you're gonna get to heaven. That's not true. I don't think that's true, especially just from what I've read in the Bible. They were always coming for Yeshua because of who he associated with, and I think a Yeshua associated with the broken people, the people who knew they were broken, who knew why they were broken, and who wanted to be better and do better. But due to the circumstances and living in this evil, corrupt world system we live in, they have obstacles. And when I say system, I mean spiritual, I mean, period. You get what I'm saying? So, but if you really consider, the Bible, for those who call themselves Christian, and are, super religious, the one that Yeshua was always going up against and cutting up with his mouth to the point that they wanted to kill him, it was the religious people. It was the Pharisees, the Sadducees. You know what I'm saying? It was the pastors, the deacons, the churchgoers, because they mastered walking around presenting an image, but inside they were corrupt and they were rotten. And if you look at the world, that's how the world is today. When we look at the main people that are presented to us as leaders, as whatever, they always have this pristine image, right? And then what do they do when somebody who doesn't have that image come out, and that person might have an image of that is powerful, that can change the whole dynamic of people's mindset and how they do stuff, or exposing truth about their corruptness. They discredit them and they smear campaign them, right? And they look for the dirt and the things that person does wrong. But here's the thing. Everybody on this planet has done something. Everybody has sinned. Everybody has fallen short. Whether you did it yesterday, whether you did it 10 days ago, whether you're going to do it tomorrow, if you're a human being, you're going to mess up. You're going to do something wrong, right? I think what it is some people, they just have their shit hidden, right? And covered and protected. And you know what's crazy? Just based on some of the stuff that I see, it's some of the people doing the most wicked, evil stuff that you would never even know because it's not shown, right? So just don't confuse broken with evil. I believe my God is a compassionate God. I believe that God knows my story and what I've experienced. And I believe my God is with me because I am sitting here making this video today alive and well, in spite of the years of turmoil and things that I've experienced. Physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time to tell anyone my whole story, but the fact that I'm still here and I'm still talking and I still have, I have peace and joy on this morning. All glory be to our Creator. Do you understand? So I just think, if anybody's struggling with guilt and condemnation, I pray that you can release that. I pray that you can forgive yourself and that you go to our God, your God, and you ask that they cleanse you and they give you understanding of yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like our God is a very compassionate God and a very merciful God. And that wants to give us everything that we need to accomplish everything that we're sent here to accomplish, and gives us everything that we need to accomplish everything we accomplish, right? Whether we're aware of it or not. So just, I pray that you feel peace and calm and comfort and love, and that, you can just put to bed anything that's been tormenting you or troubling you, release it and let it go and move forward, but I'm not talking about like, I'm talking within a spectrum. I'm not there. I know that you know who you are, whoever I'm talking to. So, yeah, but outside of that, today's a beautiful day. I wish I could remember that quote. I'm going to try to remember it in another video. I would try to find it now, but if I did, it's going to end my recording. But it was, don't confuse an evil person with a broken person. If I can find that, I'll go ahead and put that in the link description as well. But just love on, those that love you, those that are around you, those that are with you. Show love, to your enemies. And sometimes showing that love to your enemy means not engaging with them at all. Enjoy your freedom, enjoy your peace, and let nothing stop you. It's always going to be some creep or something in the background that comes for light bearers, that comes for spiritual beings that are about the business of putting good into the universe, right? So I've engaged with a couple of people over here because I'm a people person. When people meet me, they meet who I am. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When I meet people, I see who they are. Now, no matter how goofy I may seem or no matter what state I may be in, when I'm around that person, I know exactly who that person is. But that person obviously felt the need to come to me or be in my presence because there was something about me that resonated, that was good, and they wanted to be around it, even if they weren't good, even if their intentions weren't good. So one thing that I've learned is, yeah, you live your life and you be true, you be the true reflection of who you are, and people are going to be who they are. So that's the funny thing, when anyone comes to me with ill intent, I already know it. When anyone has a negative perception of me, I already know it. I know, but that's not going to stop me from being me. And honestly, instead of them just coming and breathing that fresh air when they're around me and then walking away and despising me because I am such a happy, beautiful, blessed creature, I hope one day maybe that'll impact them. But at the same time, at my big age, most people that I associate with on that realm that I'm talking about would be around my age or maybe older. If you don't get it, if you ain't got it, then that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they get it. But I am somebody who's always aware of the intentions of a person when they engage with me. And just because, you don't say it, you get what I'm saying? You never know what's in the heart and the mind of somebody. Just because I may not say I am aware of what you're on or what you're doing, just because I may look weak and vulnerable, does not mean that that's the case. I just choose to let people be what they present themselves to be. And that's and I will continue to be me. So I don't know. I'm sure I have a lot more to say, but I just decided to record. It's a beautiful morning. Hopefully there's things in here that'll edify and bless someone. I wish I had more engagement. I could go live and like connect with like some of the people that I'm associated with, or that I'm subscribed to, or that I've connected with on, this channel. If that happens in the future, I'll be grateful for that. But I just hope people are blessed and peaceful today. And one thing that I do want to say is stay in today. Stay in the moment of today. That's all you have. Be open to whatever blessings, whatever energies, whatever downloads, whatever lessons, whatever wisdom, whatever it is, even if it's just a moment, a thought, even if it's just like a second, or something that your loved one says to you, or a hug from one of your children, or the gift of being able to fix somebody you love something to eat. Enjoy that moment, enjoy this day, because this day is feeding you for tomorrow, but also be open and receive everything good that wants to come to you, whatever that is. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I say